All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, March 9th. Big gap lower this morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We're taking a look at NQ as always. So weekly starts with a gap lower into about 440, 24, 440. Selling continues down into 24K. Nice 000 psychological level there before buyers step in. And now price is right back into that weekly open. And the 24 500 by 24 450 previous area of support. So it makes this morning's watch pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We want to see how price is going to respond to this area right through here, to this previous area of support. Is it going to act as resistance, or are we going to start another leg lower down into 240, back into 24K? Or is this structure going to hold right through here? Is the intermediate term range going to hold? That's the question. That is the question for this morning. Good morning. Good morning, Gabe. Welcome back, sir. Okay. And we have 2 minutes till the open. No 10 a.m. data today. So we're all clear for 10 a.m. data prints. Like I said, main focus is going to be how price responds to this red zone right through here, a higher time frame, prior area of support. Does it become resistance this morning? You can see overnight session price just kind of consolidating here just beneath that zone, with the weekly open right in this area as well. The Sunday night open. $30 till the open. All right, let's see what we're working with. Big volatility. You know the deal. Drop size. Make sure you double check. Double check your risk points. Double check those structures. Make sure you don't have too much risk out there. Okay, there's your open. There's your Monday morning open. NQ coming into overnight high. 495 on watch. 495, 500 area on watch. There's your overnight high being tested. Let's take a look at that 5-minute RTH. So now the question is, can we see acceptance above 500? In which case, like I outlined in the notes, I imagine buyers will go for the gap fill. It's kind of the logical spot to go for. Patrick, may as well put gold into your gas tank. What are I didn't fill up this weekend. What are gas prices up to? What are we looking at? I know oil ripped. So far, just a little up thrust. Again, I like to see 500. Can buyers sustain above 500? Speaking of CL, yeah, CL is up 7.5%. Rich, $4 to $5 a gallon in Seattle. Wow. Wowzers. Yeah, that's serious. That is serious right there. So a little consolidation right here at 500. You have ES bumping into that weekly open as well. ES marking a new low of day. There we go. A little up thrust and rejection. And right back into the weekly open. $6 to $7 a gallon, Jacob. Jesus, man. That's out of control. So, like I've said, main watch, this red zone right there here. What I would really like to see is my typical setup as of late, fresh highs and then a retest right into that 500 there would be the dream. Josh, 330 in Miami. That's not bad. That's not bad right there. Surprised to see this below average volume already. Not terrible. It was 260 last week. Yeah, 260 is nice. So NASDAQ almost a new low of day right there. What's our session low exactly? Looks like 424. Little divergence from ES again this morning. That's kind of been the theme as of late. So if we mark a new low of day, I'll keep an eye on the last week low 352. See how price responds there, but more than likely with a fresh low, we'll wait for post 10 a.m. on this Monday morning. So far, we have an up thrust of overnight high, a little lower high right there at overnight high, and now fresh lows. Gabe shorts in pretty nice work jumping in there. There's your regular or excuse me, extended hours volume point of control. Right at 400. ES just pounding the lows. Critique looking like a no trade day Monday. It's early. It's early. We're only 9 minutes in. Look at that 2 hour. Still has 20 minutes on it. Let's see the hourly. So potentially a big shooting star on the hourly. All things considered, volume surprisingly light. There's ES. Fresh lows being made. No sweep of the overnight high on ES. See that higher time frame. That daily chart on ES. So that overnight low is right near daily support. Still has a little room there, down into 65.50. Hundred points floating, nice. Ride it. It's probably the overnight high short right there. That little lower high at the overnight high, that's the D wall entry. Signature. So NQ testing last week's low at 352. Benny got in there. Lower high at the overnight low, nice, or excuse me, overnight high. Very nice. Let's see if we get some volume here near last week's low, 350. Otherwise, downside level, another 100 points lower. Opening 15-minute bars getting ready to close in 90 seconds. Bearish start to the morning, of course. Oh, my bad. Thank you, sir. There's that opening 15-minute bar closure. Bearish start to the morning. And NASDAQ sitting right on last week's low with the fresh low being made right there. So personally waiting for either an intraday change of character or post 10 a.m. Maybe a 10 a.m. reversal time entry if we have good location, or some sort of intraday shift. There's a nice little bounce there. Decent little bounce right there. But I need some I need some cleaner structure to work with. Yeah, they're sitting right here. Right on last week's low. What is that, Tuesday? Tuesday the 3rd. See this 5-minute closure. Still has 2 minutes on it. But that looks better. That looks better if you ask me for the bounce idea. Good spot for it too. Bump it into that extended hours volume point of control. Elbows ran that long. And here comes that 5-minute closure. About 45 seconds. Buyers having a tough time with that volume point of control. Then you have all the resistance overhead. But so far, price just within this 100-point structure from pre-market, 150-point structure. Right back into session lows. Regular trading hours, volume point of control shifts lower. Albert, no one push. A little too early for me. A little too early. I need a better entry. Still cash this morning. Staying patient right now. As someone who trades longs, only longs, I have to recognize when a key area of support is potentially being taken out, right? So if this prior area of support price is now beneath and rejecting, for me, that says caution is warranted. Got to be careful. Got to pick your spots. Pick your spots very carefully. ES marking a fresh low there. NASDAQ marking a fresh low. So I'll be looking at 240, 24, 240. And a downside level of interest. You have extended hours value area low right through there as well for added confluence. Do you show your entry in the live trading room? Here's my execution screen. There's not been an entry. So no entry. No entry. There's a little uptick in volume. Like to see that. I'd like to see more volume this morning. Fresh lows right there. Intraday structure clearly shows downtrend so far. There's your high. A lower high right there at overnight high. Another lower high right there at extended hours volume point of control. Just stepping lower. Definitely a volume improvement in ES. For anyone trading S&P, see what are the other indices doing this morning? RTY, yeah, session lows there on the Russell YM session lows as well. So far just a market-wide sell. Not oil, of course. Oil up 10%. Even gold is down. A little bit of a bounce right there. Small. Well, there's definitely some buyer out there that likes this area. That much is clear. Howie BTC green. I saw that. So far holding that weekly zone pretty nicely, BTC, but man, that thing's been sideways for like 3 weeks now. Actually, more like a month. When did it mark that low? Yeah, February 6th. Irvin got a pretty good short entry on gold off the prior day low. Nice work. Okay, NQ volume improving a little bit here. Again, waiting for either intraday change of character or some post 10 a.m. entry. As of right now, still cash on the morning. Still just cash on the morning. Within my framework, there has not been a long entry here. So, a couple of decent shorts with the overnight high up thrust and then the lower high at the overnight high. So, two very nice short opportunities. Overnight high up thrust, market structure at the overnight high. That's a lower high. And this is what I like to see right here, volume improvement. Volume improvement. So an intraday little change of character can materialize right here about 415, but at that point price is just bumping into higher time frame resistance. See our opening 30-minute bar, how it's going to close. 60 seconds. Forming a doji on the 30. Yeah, I'm seeing that as well. Let's see these next 30 seconds. A lot can happen. On NQ, a lot can happen in 30 seconds. No 10 a.m. data. And rejected right there at the intraday structure point. Okay, we're post 10 a.m. Intraday still pointing lower. For me, there's not much to do here, but stay patient. Last week's low still holding as support. $350, $352. How's the morning so far? Anyone trading yet? A lot of cash, 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 cash. Rich 2 for 2. Albert 1 for 2. Personally, cash as well. Gabe 1 for 1. Irvin 1 for 1. Nice. Mike Cash. So you need the 5 minute. Need that 5 minute up through this area right there, here, up through that 415. And for ES, that would be, looks like the 65 area. 66. Okay, back in a 450. Potentially a little intraday shift now. Twenty-four 450. Regular trade hours value area high. So a preference for me would be price clearing this red area and then offering me some entry near 500. There you go. It's a nice push. So far, we know last week's low is held pretty nicely as support. Last week's low at 24 350. Jeff 10 a.m. reversal repeats time and time again. Yeah, I gotta love it. Gotta love it. Maybe some news right there. Dead structures are too wide. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. That's a byproduct of the big volatility. So there's a retest near last week's low. You have the volume point of controls through there for the extended and regular trading hour sesh. Nice little uptick in volume. Yeah, looks like we had some news on oil, just FYI. Pratik not trusting the bounces on a seeming down day. Yeah, this is, I mean, on NQ, this red zone is still, this is still major resistance here. So price gets back up into big resistance, and news or not, got to expect sellers right in that area. I do want to see, is this little spot going to hold right through here? Nope. And ES right back near the lows as well. Gabe not getting involved. I thought you already nailed that short. Oh, not getting involved. Not getting involved again. I hear you. Been cashing the overnight high up thrust. So far, that was play of the morning, if you ask me. So you pretty much nailed it. So far, per my framework, there has not been a long entry. So still cash on the morning. Cash. No trades. Cash day. Cash day. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what materializes. Can't rush it. Can't force it. Got to let that trade come to you. Some action above 400 here. And we may start to get more clarity on this intraday structure. 24,400. Matt, 1 for 1 on a 15-point NQ scalp. Nice work. ES has just marked a fresh low on the morning. New low of day for S&P. And NQ coming into session lows here. See if their structure breaks. See if the low of that structure cracks. So far, 15 minutes just pointing down. There's your 15. Overnight high up thrust. Retest of that resistance zone. Right back into the lows. Still here. 24,330, 24,340. Pretty slow morning. Below average volume for most of the morning so far. It's like most of the action took place in the overnight sesh. And last week's low attempting to hold as support again. There's your next 15-minute closure. Critique after seeing the overnight sesh, was expecting a cash day. Yeah, that was an active overnight sesh. All right, Gabe, take care, man. We'll see you. All right. So it looks like buyers trying to defend the lows here. This might be the structure for the morning. I'll at 425 by 325. Question is, will an entry materialize? Technically, this would have been the first long entry within my framework. Did not take it. Did not have enough conviction there for that setup. But that would be the first long setup within my playbook so far this morning. And we are almost an hour into the sesh. No daily or weekly volume profile levels. Yeah, that's valid. They are all over up above in that previous structure there. I think the yearly volume point of control shifted lower. Yeah, it's now at 830 for year to date. So NQ back into 24,400. Sellers just sitting right there at the double zero. Seller slapping that zone. Yes, sir. Look at that perfect retest of last week's low. And now we're getting back into weekly open with an uptick in volume. So last week's low, the 352, continues to be a pretty significant level here. Let's see, back into the red zone. CPI and PCE this week. Yeah, we've got some good red folder news this week. That's for sure. Okay, NQ retesting some local highs here intraday. This is where it gets more interesting. Hamsky, if we get above 500, what time frame? I see that big daily bar. Yeah, a daily close on highs would be be pretty significant, but that is a long ways away. Oh, weekly? Well, I mean, it's only Monday, so the weekly bar still has 4 days after today. This daily bar, though, if this daily closes as a hammer, that would be significant. That would definitely be significant. But it's only 10:30. A lot can happen. I see if buyers can break this high. Get above that high, get above 480, 500. So far, nope. Previous support becoming resistance. I mean, the 30-minute, if you include some of that overnight sesh, this is just pure barcode right here. Two nice directional moves overnight, and then all the regular trading hours traders get some nice barcode. Rule for entry: you need trade location, time of day, volume, intraday setup. Might be missing something there, but that pretty much sums it up. There's a full checklist criteria of an A+ trade posted in the Traders Think Tank. Rich roll for entry cannonball. Oh man. Oh man. NQ just compressing now. Another lower high. Here's a low, higher low, higher low. Compression. 1 hour into the sesh. I'm still cash. There's been one long entry. Technically two now. 2 long entries within my framework. The first one down here I passed on, and this second one, honestly, I was not focused at that time, so missed that. Little retest right there at last week's low. ES pretty much sideways as well. Let's see, Russell, just for fun. Yeah, kind of mirroring. And YM's pretty similar as well. Okay. A little bounce right for him, volume point of control, retesting the weekly open. Fresh 30-minute bar just opened. It's an inside bar on the 30-minute, so confirming the compression idea. See if an entry materializes in the next 30 minutes. But so far, there's a fairly choppy morning. A lot of overlap on the 5-minute. What's up, Bills? Cash day so far. NQ bumping back into that weekly open. Regular trading hours value area high. Albert, don't stream sacrifice until I get to work. Oh man, I'll give it at least another 30. We'll give it till 11 at least. See if we can find an entry, you know? Did market open an hour ago? Come on, man. You didn't fix your clocks? Oh my goodness. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Patrick, this is looking like it wants to keep ranging. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. A sideways range day can be lucrative. Typically, they're a little better, a little later in the morning, a little later in the sesh, right? Once you have more clarity, you short the highs, long the lows. To be fair, it's harder to keep track of this for us Europeans. Oh, that checks out. That checks out. That checks out. That's funny though. Oh man. So NQ, we're getting back into 500, getting back into that overnight high is definitely more interesting here. I mean, dream scenario is like finally break above new high of day, retest into 500, perfect entry, and then like a 400 point vertical candle. If we're talking about dream scenario, but that's kind of the idea that I'm looking for up in this area. We need a break of resistance and then a retest, break and retest. All right, here's 500. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. 505, 510. Bills cash day. Yeah, so far, cash day. No trades, no trades just yet. There's been two longs within my framework. One of them I passed on, and the second one I was not focused. I was not locked in. So cash day so far, and we're looking at this 500 area. We'll see if an entry presents itself. But so far, this is a sideways day, right? Let's see if price can kind of mark a new high, and we can get some more direction here. Thirty minutes through prior bar high. And so far, just another rejection at 500. So if this rejection shows follow through, it'll be kind of more another clue that today's just going to be a sideways range day between 525 and 315. In which case, I would look for longs down near the low, basically last week's low, 350 area. Otherwise, I want this. So that's the game plan right now. There's a little test of 510. You have ES back into the weekly open, 6685. And Q just kind of consolidating here at 500. Let's see if a new high of day is going to be made. What's our current high? Like 524? 525? Okay. Just one little blip higher, and we'll be looking at a new high of day. One little blip. One little hiccup. There you go. New high of day. There it is. Okay. 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 Mike, what a blip. Yeah, fresh highs. Now the question is, do we get an entry? that is the question. Will an entry be granted? Like I wrote up in the notes this morning, if we see acceptance above 500, if buyers are able to reclaim this previous area of support, then I would expect price to attempt to close the gap into Friday's close. So prior day low is 600, prior day close is 658. Good volume coming in right now. Need that entry. Need that entry. Can't chase it. There's prior day low, not too far off. ES just marked a new high of day. So take a look. Take a look at your daily bar now. Look at that daily bar, big hammer. Still, of course, still has 6 hours on it. But weekly time frame support still holding. Still holding there. On NQ, I don't think it's the same on ES. ES still has some support down on that 6550. But from my perspective, ES definitely way more relative weakness. Peak ES still hasn't tested overnight high. Let's see. Oh yeah, 6,700 overnight high. Big. That's gonna be a big level for ES. $10 till 11. Chrissy. Chrissy. Don't do it. Fresh highs. This might be a trade the afternoon kind of day, or just a no trade day. I still like to see pull back into 500 with some signal there, some buying activity down there. And here's pretty much prior day low, 20 point, a little less than 20 points from prior day low. You have ES coming into overnight high. So Nasdaq just into the gap now. The Friday to Sunday night gap As far as entries this morning, a bit of a snoozer, per my framework anyway, per my playbook. It's about 90 minutes into the sesh. How's the day for everyone so far? How's it looking? All that matters is you are respecting your process, following your rules. If you did that today, then you did your job. Let's see this 11 a.m. move. Then we may just call it. Jeff Cash. Pretty snooze fest. Cash. One for one. Cash green. One small scalp. ES touch on VWAP was insane. One for one. Solid. A lot of cash and a lot of just single trades. That's good. That's good. Cash so far, solid. Cash day, nice. Good deal. Remember, nothing wrong with the cash day. Absolutely nothing wrong with the cash day. Does not mean you've done anything wrong. Cash is a position. No trade days are typically a good sign that you are following some sort of process and not just showing up to roll the dice. That's what we talk about pretty much, not every day, but multiple times per week. Process oriented trading, respecting frameworks, respecting rules. It's going to build long term habits, long term systems that actually get you the outcome that you're looking for. Because really, the name of the game in trading is being able to survive. Can you keep your seat at the table? Can you live to trade another day? Don't be addicted to the dice. Exactly. So let's see if we get basically any sort of uptick in activity with this fresh 30-minute bar coming up here in about 1 minute. I'll kind of make a decision about shutting it down, calling it a morning. Let's see. Let's see VIX this morning. Pretty much, I don't really use VIX in my process, but in this market, I like to see where we're at. Okay, so we opened at 35, already below 30. All right. Okay, okay. Looks like NQ showed a perfect test of overnight high, or excuse me, ES, not NQ. The S&P, perfect test of overnight high. NQ, really what I want to see for today is whether price can hold back within this previous range, right? Is VIX a tradable asset? No. Mike, VIX, what? What's VIX for? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How to achieve consistency in trading? Follow a system with edge. And here's 11 a.m. Edge and patience. Yeah, true. True. Critique following. Following in big caps. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, a question like that, let's be real, cannot be answered within the scope of this format. So, concise answer, concise but factual answer. Follow a system with edge. Boom. Now you're consistent in trading. Simple as that, right? All you have to do is follow a system with edge. Bang, you're there. All right. So the main play I'm keeping my eye on for late morning is this right here. Pull back to 24,500 overnight high area. I like longs through that zone. I'd say late morning, early afternoon trades, as long as price is holding above 500, longs really should be the focus. The reason and the logic there is that price is now reclaiming a major previous area of support. So it's back within this structure, back within this sideways structure. So I think we'll call it right there. Unfortunately, no trades this morning. There was, like I mentioned before, two entries within my framework. One of them I passed on. I just did not have the conviction down here, which is right here. That would be a higher low at last week's low, 350. Technically, I can get in there per my system. I much prefer the retest right here. But that happened in about 45 seconds, and I was looking away at that time. So now I could start to get in here as well for like lower quality setup, but kind of feels a little bit forced, you know. And then my focus was 500 this morning, but I can't enter in that consolidation personally. So it is what it is. I just do those little recaps, right? Kind of look at entries that materialize within my framework just to make sure that, at the end of the day, if you take a cash day or you take a no trade day and you're looking back and you're like, did I miss something today? Was I too cautious? It's helpful to kind of look at how price actually unfolded and what entries would actually be within your framework. This one I made a conscious decision to pass on. The second one I missed, and the third one was lower quality. So process. Fatigue, best to just pass on such opportunities. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Can you suggest the best prop firm? My favorite is TPT, but you can't go wrong with TPT, Top Step, Tradeify, Lucid. All very good options. But yeah, take Profit Trader. In my opinion, number one. All right, folks. I'm going to call it right there. We'll keep it going this morning in the Traders Think Tank for some late morning, maybe some early afternoon trades if they materialize. Otherwise, we'll take the no trade day. Sitting on my hands. Price action was good at luring in the chase. Yeah, it's good to recognize that. It's really good to recognize that. It shows you're progressing in your self-awareness and respect for your process. So that's a W right there. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for your time today. We will see you tomorrow. Take care.